Some of you have been here before, so you got to put up with me again when I talk about the InfoAge, State of InfoAge. It's been 2 years. And, well, what a year we had last year. I don't think anybody expected anything along those lines. And the roller coaster ride of 2020 is over, and it has had a profound effect on InfoAge. In spite of the COVID-19 virus that shut down an awful lot of other museums and closed them out, either shut them down for a period of time or closed them out, we didn't. We not only survived, but we remained open and vibrant. Initially, we had to close through the end of May with an estimated loss of funding of $37,000 because we got a lot of our stuff through school groups coming in. We have the volunteer center over on the other side where we have volunteer faith-based groups that come in, still doing Sandy work, folks, because Sandy is still here with us, and a lot of people don't realize that. By the time we opened in August 1st, when they allowed us to open, our lost funding was over $87,000. And that is over 1/4 of our budget, and it really impacted on us. We attempted to overcome this by applying for grants and loans through the Small Business Administration. We had board members, volunteers, and our member organizations put in $17,000 for us. We received a $3,000 federal grant and received another $20,000 from Monmouth County. We continue to apply for COVID grants, and this year we received another 2021 Phase 2, PPP Phase 2 grant. And it was good. It was a $32,000 grant, which helped us survive last year, what we owed last year, and through this year. Continue our mission. We modified our business model through virtual and online presentations. We now have our own Zoom account, which we didn't have before, and we've conducted several beta tests for presentations to students at Rensselaer Polytech Institute, the Yale ROTC, and our summer 2020 Space Exploration Week was conducted virtually, as well as our spaceflight lecture series. We did a Facebook Live presentation at Vintage Computer Federation, where we had people coming in. It was done virtually through a combination of pre-recorded and live demonstrations. And we're continually working right now on how to reach our visitors through video and virtual means, as well as live, being here. Here are some of the other accomplishments that we had in 2020 in spite of COVID. And I got to tell this to you because I'm so proud of what the people have done around here, and it's amazing. I mean, in what we faced and everything that went on. We developed and implemented a COVID-19 plan to protect our volunteers, docents, staff, and visitors in accordance with CDC guidelines. It was so well written, a couple of other organizations used it. We gave over 2,000 N95 masks to several area hospitals, local emergency workers, and responders, especially in Wall Township. We gave a lot to the folks there. Our brochures, tour guide, and other printed media, one of which you have, were revised and reprinted to provide continuity, consistency, and uniformity of message, which we hadn't done before. We had people doing things, but it wasn't coordinated. And thank God we got a coordinator right now. And the reason we have a coordinator right now, our message is because of the young lady over there, Melissa Ziobro. I'll talk about her in a second. Our website continues to be developed, thanks to Andy Diller, that volunteered. Who the hell would volunteer to put a website in this place? I don't know. I mean, literally, our website is a couple of thousand pages long. Once you get past the main pages. Discovery Channel. I don't know if you ever seen it. The show Billy Does Brooklyn visited InfoAge in December, and they filmed both the ISEC and also the Vintage Computer Museum for segments of the show that was shown in March and April. Melissa volunteered to be our social media coordinator, where she developed and implemented an online strategy and engaging presence through our social platforms. Another volunteer is our Chief Technology Officer, Martin Flynn. He and the IT committee are developing InfoAge's technology strategy. We were literally getting hosed by Comcast and some of the others around here. And he has done a wonderful job about bringing down some nice cost savings. And another thing I'm going to talk about in a minute. And one of the big things last year was the soft opening of the 9/11 Remembrance and Memorial. It was so much hard work, and I remember Bob and the guys in here, nights, days, and everything else like that, putting it together, and the dioramas are amazing. And you know, what I want to do is make it a bigger, so there's more room for what we have there. But again, we had the formal opening was here on the 20th anniversary on 9/11 a couple of weeks ago, and we had about 60 people here. And 60 people when some of the towns are only drawing 10 and 15 people. I mean, we had 60 people here. We had fire engines, and we had people walking in and coming out angry. I'm talking about angry. Very angry. So he made tremendous strides also in improving our campus. Buildings were painted, and we emptied out, again, this is a COVID year, we emptied out over 20 large dumpsters of artifacts. Well, to someone who's an artifact. Yeah. But it's like, you know, gee, my grandfather died, and he left this radio from 1952, and we want to donate it to InfoAge. Well, thank you very much, man. We appreciate it, but I don't know if we really need that. And then we find it in one of our buildings. You know, so we're collecting all this stuff. I'm not saying that we don't want it. It's just that, you know, the stuff that comes in that is an artifact and stuff that comes in that isn't an artifact. But we had another, let's see, we got rid of CBOT a couple of years ago. We finally dumped all the CBOT garbage this year. It took us a long time to get rid of it, but it's finally gone. And the Military Technology Museum, I don't know if you've been out there, that's building 9011, ABC, has about 21,000 square feet of military equipment, some of which is only here. Smithsonian doesn't have it, one of a kind. Okay, we have a tank that can do about 46 miles an hour on a paved highway. It has done 46 miles an hour on a paved highway. Last year, in 20 and 21, we picked up 2 more tanks, an M26 and a Korean M47. This year, we got 2 self-propelled artillery pieces and an Honest John rocket. I just want to let you know, tell the people in Wall Township, we are not starting a militia. Okay? However, I mean, if you need stuff, we have stuff, okay? These items are being repaired and painted by young high school kids. We literally had a couple of high school kids who were working down at Seagirt, and they saw some of the stuff was moving up here because Seagirt didn't want it anymore. It's junk. To us, it's a treasure, you know? So these kids came up. First it was 1 kid, then it was 2, then it was 3. We got kids coming in from Staten Island with their parents, okay, Barnegat, with their parents, coming in, buying the kids lunch, and these kids are all over these pieces of equipment, sanding, grinding, painting, doing everything they can for it underneath the tutelage of one of our docents out there, a guy by the name of Rick Wark. Crusty old sucker, but I'll tell you. Okay. And finally, for 2020, you know, our volunteers put in over 15,000 documented hours that we know about volunteering during the pandemic year. And that's when a lot of people were staying home. We still had people coming here. So now on to 2021. This is only going to take 14 minutes. Okay. We are open almost back to normal. I mean, our attendance is unbelievable. It's up. Once upon a time, we're lucky if we get 10 people on a weekend. Now we get maybe 100, 150 people a week. So, you know, the 3 days we're open. Historic Divers conducted its annual Shipwreck Symposium in May. It was known as Heroes, Shipwrecks, and a Melon Patch. If you want to know what the hell a melon patch is, you got to talk to Dan Lieb over there. In July, we hosted Camp Invention for young children. And in August, we also had Camp Invention as well as Space Exploration Week. And in August, we held our World War II weekend. This month, the VCF is hosting their VCF East Conference. This is where you get a bunch of techies that come in here literally from all over the world. The last time we had it in 19, we had over 800 people attend from Brazil, Europe, about 5, 6 countries in Europe, and probably, I think it was 14 states. One of the last things we have right now is after years of fighting with Xfinity, and I think I mentioned this about the problems we have with Comcast, over internet service or lack thereof, and especially over the past couple of months where Comcast has cut back on their internet, internet bandwidth here. Pretty certain, Tom. Steve Lang one of our board members, reached out to a cousin who worked for Verizon. And he said, you know, we got a problem. You were sitting in my office, Steve, he called you. 30 minutes later, there was a guy from Verizon out here with Steve looking at the poles. Where can we run this wire to get it in here? And I'll tell you, within 2 weeks, we had Verizon Fios in this place. And I'll tell you, we're just about ready to open it up to Steve. And just to wrap up, if you come here now, if you drive around now, and I tell people, if you come here, come back 2 months, and you're going to see more stuff or stuff that's going to be different. By the time you come back for next year's Wall of Honor or awards reception, you're probably going to see a decompression chamber. It's like a small submarine over by Building 9034, which is going to be the Maritime Pavilion. It's a 100-year-old mystery anchor. They don't know where the hell it came from. It was just found on the bottom of the sea out here. I don't know why the heck you want that on your front lawn, but we're going to have a satellite tracking dish over here. They're going to be tracking ISS, International Space Station. They're going to be working with NASA on that. We're going to have the Honest John rocket pointing towards New York City. We're going to have military vehicles and radars. And hopefully, the way it looks right now, we finally found out who to talk to, and that's very difficult in the military sometimes. Get the RC-12 aircraft. We finally found out the point of contact at TACOM. And working with AOC, John Savini, and a bunch of other guys, hopefully we're going to have that in here by that time. So we got a lot of great stuff happening. And the reason we have it happening is because support from people like you, okay, whether supporting us either by visiting here, coming here, and supporting us for the awards reception, whether it is becoming members, whether it's becoming with your company, okay, supporting us with, let's say, contributions or match funds, whatever it might be. You are the folks that make this thing happen. I'll tell you, if you had seen this place 15 years ago, you would have said, you're out of your mind. Okay, I got to remember sometimes I'm not still in the infantry. But it is because of you we are where we are today. And this is just the beginning. And I tell people, Christ, I'm 79 years old. I'm not going to live to see the way this place is going to be. Because I tell you, we have so much to do and so much coming up and so much that is being done right now. This is going to be an amazing place to be. And you folks can say you're a part of it. So anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The caterer is going to come in and tell you who's going to eat. It's not my fault. I told her, you tell the tables because I'm not going to do that, okay? But thank you again very much for coming here. Thank you for everything. Okay.